With tensions rising in the world, is now the time to buy or sell an airline stock? Is it ever time to own an airline stock? We'll take a look. With terror events around the world, especially those in Europe, especially those in Belgium, one of the companies hardest hit, because it's an airline and because it operates in that part of Europe, was KLM-Air France. We thought we'd take a look at the stock today. Is it one, if you don't have it in your portfolio, do you want to add it? And if you do have it, is now the time to sell it? Air France, KLM, back in the day of 2000, 2003, were some of the big national airlines in Europe. They merged to form a giant of the airline industry. Where do they go? Everywhere. Asia, Africa, South America, North America. Is it a successful company? Yes. Who owns the company? About 80% of it floats on European stock exchanges. But essentially, the government of France owns 20%. So think of 80% floating, about 20% in the hands of the employees and the French government. Where does it trade? It trades about €8, €8.10 a share. The low is about €3, the high about $11.50. Has it done well recently? It actually reported a profit, which I know sounds a bit ordinary for big companies, especially big, good companies. The fact of the matter is airline companies don't often report profits. They have a lot of leverage, and they buy a lot of fuel every day. So between the price of oil and the price of money, it's been a good year for KLM-Air France. In February, the stock kicked right up to this €8 a share level, and that's good. That's, for those of you who have KLM in your portfolio, it's been a nice little jump. Is it going to be a long-term jump? Is it a company that you want? I have my doubts, because I feel with airlines, there's a lot of moving parts, and I don't mean that as a joke. I just mean it as this is a company that has planes, it has labor unions, it has a quasi-state component to it. If I say to you, KLM-Air France, you're not going to say, oh, a public company competitive in the market. No, you're going to say the government of France, the government of the Netherlands are combined in their investment in KLM. That's not the case. You, the shareholder, would be the owners, but you're reliant on big subsidies from the French government, big subsidies from the Dutch government. So there's the labor component. There's the uncertainty component. Airlines now are very competitive in the sense that the internet will post your price of a seat to fly you from Amsterdam to New York, and everybody sees every day that price going up and down. It's a little mini stock market in airline fares. Do I like KLM and Air France as a combined company? I think that I'm agnostic on the question of airline stocks ownership. I'm not that keen on you jumping in at €8, €8.10. Oil has probably hit bottom if it goes back up again, and money's probably going to hit up again too. And that's been a favorable tailwind for KLM. So while it's done well, and while you might see it at €8, €9 a share, in the long run, I might take another plane. That's all the time we have today on The Investment Advisor. I'm your host, Matthew Stevenson, in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Remember, money can take care of you. It cannot take care of itself.